Just a note before we begin. Today's episode is Leviticus 18, which talks a lot about adult situations. Please take care if you are playing this for innocent ears. Thanks. Hello and welcome to Bible Bedtime. I'm Dana, I'm your host, and I am so glad that you are here. I am still recovering from my bout of cold or flu or whatever it was, and today everything seems to want to be running. and so if I am sounding a little congested, a little bit like a runny nose, that's what's going on. But that's okay. I feel better today than I have felt in several days. So I'm very glad to be on the mend. Here at Bible Bedtime, it is our goal to help you fall asleep and sleep in heavenly peace. And I do that by reading a full chapter of the Bible. And after reading the chapter, I read a selection from the book of Proverbs, and I finish each episode with a reading of the Lord's Prayer. I did give a short warning before the episode started that this is a chapter in the Bible that talks about sexual morality, and although this is biblical, it is part of the human experience, I do try to give a warning before these kinds of episodes. I know a lot of you maybe turn this on for your kiddos before they go to sleep, and I just want to make sure that you're aware of what we're talking about so that you can make those decisions yourself. I will, in the program description, in the title of the program, if there's any content that I feel like you might want to know about beforehand, I will put an asterisk in the show title. And if you see that, then it might be worth just taking a look at your own Bible to see if it's something you're comfortable with. As a parent myself, I remember what it's like to have children that you battle between wanting them to stay innocent and only see the world as beautiful and positive and lovely in every way. And that tug between that and wanting to make sure that they are responsibly exposed to lessons about the actual world that we live in and to understand the human experience that has been the same since Adam and Eve were on the earth. And I want to do what I can to help you and support you in that journey that you're taking. Now, as you know, I talk about how I can see the map where we have listeners, and I can see how many people have listened to each episode. I find it fascinating that these episodes with the asterisks by them tend to get a lot more listens. I don't necessarily think that is an indication of our sinful nature, although it might be. I think that those are the issues that sometimes we're surprised that they are discussed in such detail in the Bible. And that's interesting to us. And so I think we're just naturally drawn to that. And that's okay. Again, it's all part of the human experience. By the way, we are in season 3, and this is episode 153. And as I said before, I am reading Leviticus 18 tonight. So before I begin to read the chapter, let's take a moment and kind of check in. Check in with yourself. Relax, and it's time for you to get ready to go to sleep. Get into your favorite sleeping position, and then do a quick scan of your body. Just a mental scan. Just pretend like there is a light from heaven that comes down. Maybe it's a blue light or a purple light or whatever color makes you feel peaceful, and this light travels from your toes all the way up to the top of your head, slowly. And as you feel this like a scan going up your body, take note of areas that ache perhaps, or are tense, or just are not comfortable. For me, when I do this, I will notice that sometimes I'm holding tension in my lower back, or in my hips, or my knees, and a lot of times in my jaw even. And when you feel those areas where there's tension, I'm going to challenge you to imagine that beautiful, peaceful light just focuses there and warms that area and allows that area to relax, almost like a washcloth when you squeeze out the water and then you unfold the washcloth. Right? So as we take these 3 deep breaths, I want you to imagine the air going into those specific places and relieving any tension or discomfort that you feel. And in the final breath, I want it to all just breathe out any tension that you feel. Okay? Let's do this together if you'd like. 1, 2, and 3. And now you should be completely relaxed. And we are going to read from Leviticus 18. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, I am the Lord your God. You must not do as they do in Egypt, where you used to live, and you must not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you. Do not follow their practices. You must obey my laws and be careful to follow my decrees. I am the Lord your God. Keep my decrees and laws, for the man who obeys them will live by them. I am the Lord. No one is to approach any close relative to have sexual relations. I am the Lord. Do not dishonor your father by having sexual relations with your mother. She is your mother. Do not have relations with her. Do not have sexual relations with your father's wife. That would dishonor your father. Do not have sexual relations with your sister, either your father's daughter or your mother's daughter, whether she was born in the same home or elsewhere. Do not have sexual relations with your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter. That would dishonor you. Do not have sexual relations with the daughter of your father's wife, born to your father. She is your sister. Do not have sexual relations with your father's sister. She is your father's close relative. Do not have sexual relations with your mother's sister, because she is your mother's close relative. Do not dishonor your father's brother by approaching his wife to have sexual relations. She is your aunt. Do not have sexual relations with your daughter-in-law. She is your son's wife. Do not have relations with her. Do not have sexual relations with your brother's wife. That would dishonor your brother. Do not have sexual relations with both a woman and her daughter. Do not have sexual relations with either her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter. They are her close relatives. That is wickedness. Do not take your wife's sister as a rival wife and have sexual relations with her while your wife is living. Do not approach a woman to have sexual relations during the uncleanness of her monthly period. Do not have sexual relations with your neighbor's wife and defile yourself with her. Do not give any of your children to be sacrificed to Molech, for you must not profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. Do not lie with a man as one lies with a woman. That is detestable. Do not have sexual relations with an animal and defile yourself with it. A woman must not present herself to an animal to have sexual relations with it. That is a perversion. Do not defile yourselves in any of these ways, because this is how the nations that I am going to drive out before you became defiled. Even the land was defiled, so I punished it for its sin, and the land vomited out its inhabitants. But you must keep my decrees and my laws. The native born and the aliens living among you must not do any of these detestable things. For all those things were done by the people who lived in the land before you, and the land became defiled. And if you defile the land, it will vomit you out as it vomited out the nations that were before you. Everyone who does any of these detestable things, such persons must be cut off from their people. Keep my requirements and do not follow any of the detestable customs that were practiced before you came, and do not defile yourselves with them. I am the Lord your God. Proverbs 6:1-5. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, if you have struck hands in pledge for another, if you have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth, then do this, my son, to free yourself. Since you have fallen into your neighbor's hands, go and humble yourself. Press your plea with your neighbor. Allow no sleep to your eyes, no slumber to your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. I'll end tonight's reading with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Amen. Now it's time to sleep. Sweet dreams.